Hello. Today I want to talk about an organ that many of us tend to overlook until the body sends a clear signal that something is amiss. We are talking about the liver. People often ask me, is the liver really that important? Do we truly need to pay so much attention to it? My answer is always the same. Absolutely. The reality is that our modern lifestyle and eating habits often lead to our liver becoming overwhelmed with excess internal accumulation. This often happens quietly, and many people do not even realize their liver is struggling until they happen to undergo a specialized scan. But here is the good news. The liver has an amazing capacity for restoration. I want to share with you some proven insights on how to support your body, nurture this vital organ, and even how to prepare a simple, effective drink that can serve as a wonderful addition to your daily routine. Let us start with the fundamentals. Many people mistakenly believe that bile is produced by the gallbladder. In reality, the gallbladder is simply a storage pouch, a reservoir, where bile is kept and concentrated. It is actually the liver that creates it. If we understand the tremendous amount of work bile does, we will begin to appreciate our liver with much greater respect. Bile is essentially a natural detergent, a substance that helps our body break down fats. Let's visualize how this works. You consume something containing fats. The food enters the stomach, where it undergoes preliminary processing, and then it moves down into the small intestine. But here is where we encounter a challenge. Fats are large, complex particles that enzymes struggle to handle on their own. Our digestive system relies on the pancreas to produce an enzyme called lipase. Lipase is our primary assistant in breaking down fats. However, there is a crucial nuance. For lipase to do its job effectively, it desperately needs the help of bile. Bile coats these large clumps of fat and breaks them down into thousands of tiny particles. This significantly increases their surface area. Only after this preparation can lipase attack the fats and break them down thoroughly so the body can absorb everything it needs. Simply put, without a sufficient amount of high-quality bile, the digestive process becomes incomplete. And this is where hidden deficiencies begin, which can manifest over many years. The first thing to pay attention to is the absorption of vitamins. Fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K, require the presence of bile to be properly absorbed in the intestine. For example, a deficiency in vitamin A often manifests as a decline in night vision. You might be driving in the evening, it is raining, and you realize that seeing the road has become much more difficult. That is a signal to pay attention to. Furthermore, vitamin A plays a massive role in supporting your immune system, especially regarding the respiratory tract and sinuses. Vitamin E is directly linked to the health of your cardiovascular system. A lack of it often affects the state of your blood vessels, which may lead to unwanted buildup in the arteries. Vitamin D is a story of its own. It is not just a vitamin. It is a hormone necessary for managing pain levels, supporting healthy blood pressure, and, very importantly, for the absorption of calcium. If the liver is not functioning at its best, and there is not enough bile, you could take all the calcium supplements in the world, but your body simply won't be able to utilize them. This can lead to weakened bone structure, sleep issues, and a general feeling of fatigue. Vitamin K is another critical element. A lack of K1 often leads to increased bleeding or bruising at the slightest touch. A deficiency in K2 may result in calcium depositing where it shouldn't be. For example, in the walls of your arteries or in your joints, rather than strengthening your bones. Additionally, we need omega-3 fatty acids. Without them,
the body becomes more prone to inflammatory conditions, whether in the joints, blood vessels, or even cognitive functions. The brain thrives on high-quality fats, and their proper absorption depends directly on the health of your liver. Continuing with our exploration, it is important to understand that the liver serves as much more than just a digestive assistant. It is a master regulator for your entire body. One of its most vital tasks is acting as a filter. We live in a world where we are constantly exposed to various substances, and the liver's job is not to store these particles, but to break them down into harmless components so they can be eliminated.
If this process is slowed down, or if the liver is burdened, these substances can circulate back into your bloodstream. This is why supporting your liver is one of the most effective ways to feel lighter and more energetic. Furthermore, the liver plays a critical role in hormonal balance. Think of your thyroid hormones, specifically the conversion of T4 into the active form, T3. Without a well-functioning liver, this conversion process is often hindered. You might have the necessary hormones present, but they remain inactive because the liver is not able to flip the switch, so to speak. A significant portion of your T3 production relies on your liver. If your energy is low, or you feel like your metabolism isn't what it used to be, it is often not a problem with the thyroid itself, but a need to support the liver's conversion capacity. The liver also acts as a buffer for sex hormones. Whether it is estrogen or testosterone, balance is key. Without the liver working properly, the body struggles to create the proteins needed to regulate these hormones. This can lead to imbalances that affect everything from skin health and mood to overall vitality in both men and women. When we see signs of hormonal fluctuations that don't seem to have a clear cause, I always recommend looking at the liver first. It is the silent manager behind the scenes, ensuring everything stays in a healthy, steady state. Now, how can you tell if your liver might need a bit of extra support? Your body is very good at giving you signals. First, pay attention to your digestion. If you find that eating fatty meals makes you feel bloated, uncomfortable, or sluggish, that is a classic sign that your body would appreciate more bile support. Second, observe your digestion's output. If your stool is pale, light-colored, or tends to float, this often indicates that fat is not being properly emulsified and absorbed. It is a very direct message from your system that things are not moving as smoothly as they could. Third, look for signs of tension. A fatigued or enlarged liver can actually put pressure on the surrounding areas. Some people notice a persistent, dull tension in the right shoulder or the right side of the neck. It is not always a muscle issue. Sometimes it is the liver making its presence felt because it is under pressure. If you experience regular burping, belching, or a feeling of indigestion after a meal, these are also common cues that your liver and gallbladder system could use a helping hand. The good news is that we don't have to guess. We can take active, natural steps every single day to clear out that congestion and restore the liver's natural efficiency. Now that we have covered the fundamentals of how your liver and bile system work, let's talk about the practical, everyday steps you can take to keep things running smoothly. The goal here is simple. We want to increase your bile reserves and help your body process fats more efficiently. If you are committed to long-term health, I always recommend looking into the foundation of your diet. Combining a healthy, nutrient-dense eating plan with intermittent fasting has been shown to be one of the most effective ways to support a healthy liver. It gives your system the necessary downtime it needs to focus on internal repair and maintenance rather than constant digestion. But today, I want to share a secret weapon, a very simple, refreshing shake that you can prepare at home.
It is packed with nutrients that act as excellent allies for your liver. The science behind these ingredients is quite compelling, and when combined, they create a powerful tool for your daily routine. The ingredients are simple, affordable, and easy to find. 2 cups of kale, 1 cup of blueberries, 1 cup of plain, whole-fat kefir, 1 cup of water.
Here is my recommendation for the best results. Try to use organic ingredients whenever possible. I also suggest keeping your kale and blueberries in the freezer. Not only does this make them easier to blend, but it also gives the shake a fantastic, smooth texture that makes it quite enjoyable to drink. Why these specific ingredients? Both kale and blueberries are incredibly rich in quercetin. I often call quercetin the ultimate defender for liver health. It supports the liver's natural pathways and helps maintain a strong immune system. But beyond quercetin, these plants are packed with diverse phytonutrients that assist the liver in its daily tasks. Then, there is the kefir. If you can, look for plain, grass-fed, whole milk kefir. It is a fantastic source of natural probiotics. These beneficial bacteria are essential for maintaining a healthy gut environment, which in turn takes a huge amount of pressure off your liver. To prepare it, simply place the frozen kale, frozen blueberries, water, and kefir into your blender. Blend it for a minute or two until it is completely smooth. You don't need to add any sugar or sweeteners. The natural flavors are quite pleasant on their own. I recommend drinking this daily. It is a small, consistent habit, but it provides your body with the consistent support it needs. Think of it as a daily thank you to your liver for all the hard work it does behind the scenes to keep you feeling vibrant. Remember, consistency is key. Your body appreciates these small, intentional choices much more than occasional drastic measures. Start incorporating this into your day, listen to how your body responds, and notice the difference in your energy levels over the coming weeks. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this information helps you feel more empowered in taking care of your health. Remember to stay curious, stay consistent, and take good care of yourself. I look forward to sharing more insights with you in our next conversation.